Hello, hello! I am so happy and so grateful that you're here today, because today we're planning for August in our bullet journals. My name is Carla, this is Art with Katie. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a wonderful summer. So many things are happening right now. I don't know if you're a fan of sports. I know I'm not the super sporty kind of person, but I love watching some sports events. And right now with the Summer Olympics, well, oh my God, it's been amazing. Hopefully you'll, get a glimpse of what's going on, regardless if you're not a sports person or you are. But if not, you should just look at it just to see the magic behind it. I mean, there's just so much investment of people doing performances, the arts behind everything. I just love a good show, let's say, and it's been a lovely show. I've also had a really nice summer. I hope you're having it too. I was able to go visit my mom, and we went to the zoo, we went to see the wolves, and it has been amazing to be able to see nature. I know sometimes I don't like animals being, not free, but I also know that it's a way for us to get to know them. And if I didn't have a zoo, I wouldn't be able to know some of those animals. So I don't know what is it for you, but for me, sometimes it's bittersweet. Although I do see that we're more conscious of the way we have some animals, how we take care of them, how we look after them, the spaces that they have. So I know that we have improved a lot since, I don't know, many years back in those sort of things. And of course, I'm getting off topic. I just wanted to tell you that it's been a lovely summer. And even if I just had 10 days off, because I've been working, I did enjoy it a lot, and I hope that you have too. But this is the time of the year when people that work in a school, such as me, we're getting ready to receive everyone, and I do mean everyone, like staff members, students, of course, their parents. So there's a lot of work that happens during the summer in a school, and which is why I noticed that I don't have a lot of videos for August. I thought I was really behind right now, because I'm just gonna start, and it's, August is now, and I was but let me see what I've done in the past years for you to have as a reference. And I remember that I did one inspired in Lisa Frank, which I love, by the way, and you should check that out. It was so much fun to do it, and it was in August. But then when I went back, I don't have a lot for August. I did recreate it, Amanda Rachel's Lee's Seashells and Under the Sea theme, in coral, which her video is lovely. She does, well, she's the queen for a reason, right? The queen of bullet journaling. And I recreated that of hers, and I think that's it. I've been here, I don't know how many years, doing bullet journaling with you guys. I've been here 4 years, actually, since 2020. And yeah, I only have 2 videos for August, and this is the second one. So yeah, way to go. But anyway, my excuse is that I'm usually prepping to receive students, in this lovely, beautiful month. I do have, however, a couple of videos for students, actually, how they can be successful if they prep some things in their journals, or in this case, in their bullet journals. So please do check them out if you're a student and are interested. They're not only for students. I mean, everyone can do it. You don't have to be a student to do it, but these are a little bit more, I guess, focused on students, because they asked me in the past, my students, if I can teach them a little bit about journaling and how to be successful and be organized and be productive, which is in a way why these videos were created after a workshop that I gave them. So please do check them out if you're going to school and are interested in getting ready to have the best, semester, the best school year. So anyway, with that in mind, I do have Lisa Frank for August, 2 years ago, and this year I'm gonna do a 70s inspired bullet journal planner. So I am really happy that I had this in my Pinterest board for, I don't know, maybe a year, because I had this idea of having a 70s inspired bullet journal theme. And I wanted to combine it with something else, which I know they're not 70s, but I thought of Care Bears. Again, because they're colorful, and I don't know, I've been into a lot of rainbows and stuff lately, so I thought of them. And I started my illustration, but I haven't finished. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish it. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna work on it. I just probably won't do it right now. So sorry about that. But I'll be sure to share with you that Care Bears illustration when it's ready. And in the meantime, we just need to start planning with the theme of the 70s. So I hope that you're ready. It's gonna be colorful. It's gonna be in a simple color palette. I just chose like 7 to 8 colors, and I'm gonna stick to those. And surprisingly, when I was researching for my 70s inspired theme, I learned that 70s art, it has a lot of influence for Art Nouveau, and I like, well, no wonder that I like it so much, right? Because you know, I like Art Nouveau. It's one of my favorite art movements, and of course I have a plan with Art Nouveau in mind. I just did it again actually in July with Sailor Moon, which is another topic and another theme that I love. So it was surprising to me. I didn't know that. So this is why I do this kind of videos, because I'm always learning new things about art. So let's learn a little bit about the 70s together. So grab your materials. We're gonna keep it simple. Like I told you, it's a small palette. I mean, small for me. And I'm only gonna use my Crayola markers and some fine liners, my bullet journal, and let's see what else I start grabbing. But the idea is to keep it simple, to do it fast, so that you can see that there's many ways to keep this fun and for it to look lovely and colorful without having to invest a lot of time in it. So let's just, get a coffee if you want some, a cup of tea, something to drink, something to snack on in case that you're not gonna be planning with us, but you're gonna be enjoying just, what we're doing. And I'll see you at the end of the video. Here you can see the materials I'll be using during this monthly plan. As I mentioned in the intro, I didn't have the time to do an artwork for the monthly calendar, but I'll see how. I'll leave you here a calendar for you to download, as I do every single month. I always make sure to make this gift available for you. And in the meantime, let's learn a little bit about the 70s art. The 70s were an era of new artistic movements and an increasing emphasis on individuality in art. An interest in counterculture movements and the rise of novel themes in art and culture characterized the decade. The 70s art was more about protest, rebellion, and human emotions. As art and technology are closely related, the technological development of the 70s deeply impacted the contemporary perception of creative works and gave birth to revolutions in contemporary art currents, from pop art to minimalism. I am sure you love art as much as I do. And to be honest, in the 70s there were just so many popularized counter movements, such as feminists, anti-war, activists, and many shaped the 70s style. Nevertheless, the hippies, the dominant counterculture of the 60s to the 70s, had the biggest influence in art. And not only there, but as well in fashion. Psychedelic art in the 70s became popular with many artists and famous artworks. Psychedelic artists used posters, guitars, vehicles, album covers, and street as their canvases. Soon, psychedelia became synonymous with well-known rock bands and performers such as Pink Floyd, The Doors, and The Beatles. And we certainly have to mention how art also had many civilian anti-war movements that promoted peace through art. Street art became undeniably popular as well, and then a new era began with the moon landing and science fiction art. The 70s saw some significant changes in the cultural landscape, and feminist movement played an unquestionable role in shaping the decade. New architectural styles were introduced. The avant-garde aesthetic climate of the 70s altered how we design modern structures. Brutalism was particularly popular in public buildings such as libraries and government buildings. We've all heard how less is more sometimes, right? Which is minimalism. Minimalism first emerged between the 60s and the 70s. The style was characterized by its simple geometric forms and the minimalist philosophy that accompanied it. And we certainly have to talk about the influence of the pop art movement. First appeared in the 1950s, using popular culture and ordinary objects for artist purposes, was one of the movement's defining characteristics. In the 70s, pop art movement evolved, expanded its influence, and attracted more interests. And this particular movement in the 70s we have discussed in another video that you can of course check out. As you can see, art had a lot of movements during the 70s. And you might be wondering where exactly I'm getting the inspiration from, which is a little bit from everything, but more specifically from the groovy graphic design trends from the 1970s. Because while we all know that the 70s were famous for bell-bottoms, roller skates, and disco balls, it was also an era of progressive cultural change and technological innovation. Along with portable cassette players, the first digital wristwatch, and Apple Computer One, which was Apple's earliest product, new devices for typesetting were introduced. The letraset and the visual graphic phototypositor techniques emerged and provided great freedom for designers. Creatives began breaking the conventions of typography with more irregular and varied letter forms. As a result, the lava lamp-inspired bubble lettering and free-form font swatches that captured the era were born and continue to be popular typography choices today. Bold color and patterns were featured in the 70s design trends. The psychedelic influences from the 1960s continued well into the next decade. But as diverse social movements and new music genres evolved, so did visual arts. The introduction of jazz, funk, and disco gave the 70s a distinct look. The mid-decade flaunted warm colors, thick wavy lines, paisley patterns, flower power motifs, and much more. If you're a fan of the 70s, you know that the era was all about pushing the limits of design. From attention-grabber posters and psychedelic vinyl covers to fashion fads and colorful interiors, the dazzling designs of the time defined the energy of the decade. Whether you love or hate the far-out aesthetics of the 70s, there's no doubt the iconic decade made a lasting impression. And many of today's graphic designers are looking back to the colorful era for inspiration. As you can see, I try to use everything from the bold lines to the lovely colors and flowers. So many flowers, right? And interestingly, I've been keeping my phones pretty demure for, the theme and the topic. But let's think about that in a later time. And right now, let's discuss the characteristics of the 70s aesthetic. So we mentioned how the 70s is characterized by multiple social movements and trends. But one thing's for sure, the visuals were pushed to extremes. Some might say tasteless, and some might say tasteful. Let's take a look at a few characteristics. Printing allowed for the use of photography, and advertisers wanted to go all out and use as much color as possible. Colorful illustrations became almost essential in every piece of design. We can see some Art Nouveau appear with the intricate psychedelic style. Designers had a lot more control when it came to typesetting. Experimentations with spacing and disordered type took off very quickly. Groovy fonts included swashes, another reference to Art Nouveau. These organic shapes were added at the end of capital letters and bold terminals. Graphic design became a weapon of protest. Many political protest groups made ways to draw type design by hand, resulting in more really groovy 70 fonts. The most iconic element in this decade was the type design. Groovy music inspired 70s font that almost looked like bubbles. Thick and curvy hand-drawn scripts carried on from the 60s. 70 disco fonts were inspired by neon lights. Punk rock inspired a revolution with college characters and disordered sans serif. The Pride movement introduced its iconic flag in the late 70s. This inspired designers to use many different colors in their designs because it represented a positive and happy vibe. And taking as many of these characteristics as I could, this is how the planning for this month came to be. Let me know in the comments how you think I did, and of course, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the theme. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I had lots of fun. I'm doing things as fast as I can, and I always feel so grateful that you're here with me. The idea is that we plan together for a new month so that we're the most successful, have the most balance and peace and all the good things we can have, every day of our lives. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Share this video, share my content with someone that you think is going to appreciate it. That's how I can grow. That's how I can reach more people that like art, productivity, that want to learn about art, and of course want to put in practice the bullet journal method. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you a cent and it helps me a lot. Again, I would like to reach more people that I could be helping with my content. That's the aim of this channel, and I'm grateful that you're here, and I'll be even more grateful if you share with someone that you know is going to appreciate it. As you know, I have a playlist for bullet journal planning, so there's many things, many topics that you could be using this month if for whatever reason 70s is not something that you're super into. And of course, there's also art videos, there's review of materials, some materials that I really, encourage anyone that's trying to, get into art that you must have, that you should try out. And if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about in future videos, please drop a comment below and I'll be doing my best to satisfy your need. Once again, I'm super grateful that you're here, and I'll see you in my next video. In the meantime, keep creative, keep safe, and always be kind. I'll see you soon. Bye! Please like and share my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time! Thank you.